Welcome to The Current Buzz, the podcast where we break down what's happening now at Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber and why it matters to you.
Each episode, we're bringing you practical insights, behind-the-scenes conversations, and real-world answers to the questions our members and subscribers are asking. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump into today's conversation. Welcome to episode 61 of The Current Buzz. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Daniel.
And today we have with us two billing pros. They're the experts, Shelly and Shanna. We'll meet them here in just a second, but we always start off with the top three things you need to know.
First one I want to mention is the Energy Saving Trees program. Most of you have probably seen this over the years. I think we've been doing it for, 7 or 8 years now. It's basically a program that we give trees away to our members. So this year we're actually going to have 250. Spoiler alert, last year it was 200. We upped it a little bit this year, 250, because it's a very loved program. But essentially you're going to go into this certain website and you're going to put in your address. It'll overlay our mapping system. You're going to be able to select a tree that we've already predetermined for this program, move it around your property, and based on how that tree shades your house, will tell you like how much energy you're saving in your house over the life of that tree and as that tree grows. Really cool program, but that launches April 1st, so be ready to go to that website and get your tree locked in because they will go fast.
And the link will be in the co-op news. So if you get the co-op news, whether it's in the mail or you get the email, check it. You don't want to miss out on one of the trees because they do go fast. Mm-hmm. Before you add solar to your house or really any kind of extra generation, we want you to give us a call first because we have some experts here on our engineering team, and they can help walk you through the entire process because we know there's a lot of questions that come along with adding solar or wind generation to your house, and we've got it all figured out. So give us a call and ask for our solar experts. But if you don't want to do that first, we have a video on our YouTube channel that also kind of introduces you to what that process looks like. So if you're thinking of adding solar to your house, be sure to give us a call first.
Also want to mention OEC's Live Line demo trailer. I don't know if you've seen this. It's yours truly. We have a high voltage demonstration trailer that we take around to first responders and kids and groups basically and show the dangers of our power lines, right? We see them every day. We don't have to interact with them, but if we do, it's usually a bad day. And so this trailer was built to kind of show what the dangers really are and how dangerous it is. And it's been a really cool tool to take around. We were trying to discuss how many people have seen this. So it's been around since 2017. I think we're probably pushing over 10,000. That's probably on the low side. 10,000 people have seen this demo. So hopefully it saves somebody some trouble someday.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to bring it to your business or group, give us a call. Go to our website.
okcoop.org/liveline and put in a request for it.
Easy peasy. Well, today, on today's episode, we are going to look line by line at the electric bills and also the fiber bills. We know there's a lot of questions that members can have and subscribers can have about what these charges are, what all of it means. So we brought in some experts from our enterprise applications team today who work in billing. They work behind the scenes. They are the experts, and they're going to help us answer some of these questions today. So welcome, Shanna and Shelly. Shanna, starting with you, tell us what your job is specifically, how long you've been here.
Yeah, so I've been with OEC for a little over 5 years now. Started with member service, and then now I'm in the billing department. Just help generate all the bills for fiber and electric, and happy to help as much as I can.
And Shelly, what about you?
Me too. I've been with OEC about 10 years. I started in member service as well, and then I'm now in the billing department. We generate about over 100,000 bills every month with electric and fiber. So it's a lot of fact checking, making sure all the rates are correct and just making sure all of our bills are correct before they go out to our members.
100,000.
I know, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So let's look at a bill. Let's start at the top. What information in the account and billing period section matters most for understanding the rest of the bill?
So if you want to start with the electric bills, the first thing that you probably want to look at is your usage. This is the one indicator that will tell you if something has changed with your usage. And then if you look at your amount and it's gone up a little bit, you might think, well, what's changed since last month? So definitely check your usage first because that could be, if you have teenagers like I do and they're taking extra long showers, or if you just recently purchased something, maybe in your shop that's running that you don't realize is running a lot, like a hot tub or, some kind of machinery. Or maybe your hot water tank is going out, or maybe your well is going out. That's the first place to see if there's a problem at your home. And then after that, you can call in our member service department, and they can definitely try to troubleshoot with you. But that's the first place that I would start.
Well, and I will add too that our mobile app and our My OEC platform, which is just on our website, it's the billing payment software. It has the capability to send you text messages if your usage increases an unusual amount. So that's something we like to promote too, that you can go and opt into these text messages so you don't have to wait on a bill for this usage to pile up for 30 days. You can get a text pretty quick if anything's out of the norm, and then kind of check into it before the billing cycle ends.
Yes, that's really important every month. And if you're on budget billing, you might not see that because you pay an average basically every month. So you definitely need to check that each month to see.
That's a great point. At the top section of the electric bill, so it has your statement date, it has the account number, it has your board district. Just assuming that not a lot of people may know what that means, I do just want to add here that as a member-owned cooperative, we do have a board of trustees that is elected by the membership. And so that's what that means. So that's your district number. And every 3 years, we have district meetings out in those districts. So be on the lookout in the mail in summertime. Usually is when we have send that information out. But it's a really cool concept. I always like plugging. That's what makes us a co-op.
Yeah, and those are an opportunity for you to come and ask questions to your board members and ask questions to our CEO and just learn more about what's going on with the co-op. It's really personal, right? So, all right, the next section gets into the important stuff. So walk us through what each of these items mean on the bill.
Yeah, it's that line that says what rate you're on and your meter reading dates and things like that. Walk us through the importance of each of those.
So there's the service description that obviously tells which address. Some of our members have several different, addresses or meters. So that one shows which one we're talking about. The rate is your rate that meter is on. And we have basically 3 main residential rates. We have the standard residential, the time of use, and the EV, which is electric vehicle rates. Then we go over and there's your meter number. There's your service from and to dates, which sometimes that can be 31, sometimes it's 28 days, just depending. Then we have your readings, your previous reading, which is the last bill, and then your present reading, which is what we took the rate off of. We took that reading. Then your usage is there on the end.
So if someone notices their usage is a lot higher than, because there's a chart on there too, where you can kind of see
there is a chart where it shows
if it goes up, what's the first thing they should look at?
I would definitely, like you say, if you can see it online, go ahead and look there and see. You can drill down into those by days. I'm usually online, and you can see, oh yeah, I remember I was running this machine or whatever from this time to this time. Or you can always call into our member service, and they can do the same thing. Look and see if there's been anything different.
One thing I like about this chart is it actually is 13 months. So I always tell people, be cautious of comparing this month to last month because weather can change, right? But this month to the same month last year, generally, they're going to be pretty similar. So I like that it's 13 months. You can see January this year compared to January of last year, so you can really go, oh, yeah, this is pretty on par, right?
Right. But then, like you say, if we have a warmer January and February, it's going to be way different than if we had a snowstorm, last year. But it is good to see that fluctuations all throughout the year.
Yes. And you mentioned rates, the 3 different residential rates. I do just want to note that you don't have to have an electric vehicle to be on the EV rate. We get a lot of questions about that. And a lot of members may still be on our time of use rate because that used to be the only rate we had. Every residential member was on time of use. That was it. And really since 2020-ish, about 2020, we have introduced additional rates. So if you didn't know you have an option on what your electric rate is, you do. Go to our website, okcoop.org/rates, see what your options are. There's a cool calculator there. All you do is you put in your account number. Have you used this?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, all you do is you put in your account number. It pulls up your usage history, your billing history, and it calculates it all on the 3 different rates, tells you which one you would have saved money on.
Yeah, it tells you your yearly savings by which rate you were switched to. So It's fantastic. You can
Super
go like,
easy.
I think I'm on the EV rate. I don't know an EV rate. It's basically a cheaper at night rate, right?
Right.
So if you can shift load from 10 to 5, then it makes sense to get on there. So
the energy charge is the per kilowatt hour cost.
Yes. So you'll see your kilowatts listed there to the left, and then you'll see at the rate that it was charged on the energy charge line. And then over on the right, it'll have the amount, the dollar amount. With some rates, if you are over 1,000 kilowatts, it will do the first 1,000 at a set rate, and then the second, 800 or whatever you have after that, will be at a lower rate usually. That's true for this standard residential the residential time of use that I'm looking at right here. And so then that will show the difference. If you're on the EV rate, you'll have the standard rate at the top, the energy charge, and then it'll have the evening time also at the lower 5% on that rate, 5%. 5 cents per minute.
Yeah, 5 cents.
5 cents per kilowatt.
Yeah, so that top line is going to be, well, on the EV one, it's your 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then your second line will be your 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. usage. So time of use, it's going to be your all the time rate minus, summertime we have the higher peak times during the day, and
Right.
then there's also, I think there's some step down over 1,000 in the winter. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of math.
well, they do that for you.
It is.
I know. Thank goodness.
That's what we check every month. So.
And then right below the energy charges, there's a cost adjustment. You mind touching base on what that is?
Yes, so that is called power cost adjustment, or PCA is what we term it as. This is basically the difference between what we bill to our members as opposed to what we are billed from our on our power bill from Western farmers. So it's the difference of the cost of the power that we buy versus what we charge our members. So sometimes this will be an additional amount. Sometimes it's a credit. If we've overestimated how much our power bill will be and the bill is actually not that much, it can be a credit as well.
So it's just like a correction tool, basically. So, I mean, there's no way we would know what the fuel costs are going to be next week, next month, or whatever. So we kind of have to, and then at the end of the month, we reclamate that, right? We can adjust. So.
Yes, once we get
Monthly,
our
we
power bill
adjust.
monthly, then we send that either credit or a charge to our members that way.
So the next one is the service availability charge. And this is the one that we get probably the most questions on. Help us understand what the service availability charge is and what it does.
Okay. So the service availability charge is, it covers OEC's fixed costs, basically like line maintenance or system improvements, things like that. It covers the cost to bill out our bills and our member service and our administration costs. And it fluctuates with each different rate that you're on. The residential time of use is $1 per day or $30 basically a month. The standard residential or the EV rate is $1.50 per month. So it just depends on which rate you're on. Our small commercial has a different rate as well. So it just depends on which you are.
Yes, most of our charges, as I understand, are fixed cost. So essentially that covers, or
Right.
it's intended to cover our fixed cost.
Correct.
Then going on down, the next one is taxes. So what are we required to charge our members as far as taxes go?
So this is a 2% gross receipts tax. Some of our members call in and say, well, I'm tax exempt. Why am I paying a tax? Well, it's not your normal sales tax. This is just a gross receipts tax that goes directly to the state, and it goes to the schools in our service area.
Oh, cool.
It's not like a general sales tax that you would pay at the store or something. It's a school, goes to the school.
Yeah, we used to see a report about which school district received their allotments. I don't know if I haven't seen that in a few years.
Interesting. I
But-
don't think I've ever seen this.
We published it in the Co-op News probably a decade ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The next charge is Operation Roundup. Would you
Yes.
like to explain that one?
Yes, Operation Roundup is a program that OEC does. We basically round up your bill. You don't have to participate in Operation Roundup if you don't want to. You can always opt out of that. But we do round up the bill to the next dollar, and all of those funds go into an account. And there is a board. There's an Operation Roundup board who decides where we distribute this money in our community, and it basically goes to people in need in our community. It does not go to pay power bills for anybody. It goes to assist with people who have, life circumstances that have happened, and maybe an elderly person needs a ramp built on their home, or maybe, somebody needs a handicapped accessible van. It can go to helping things like that, but it does not go towards other people's power bills. It just goes to help people. That was a common misconception.
Yes. And I'll take the opportunity just to plug how people can apply for that.
Yes.
So anyone living in our service area can apply. You don't have to receive electricity from OEC. You just go to our website, okcoop.org/ORU, and submit an application. It's really easy.
They really are changing lives with that. It's awesome. It's awesome to hear the stories. Sometimes I've helped in some of those projects. It's pretty cool. So the next thing we want to get into, I think, is the fiber bill. Correct? Is there anything else on the electric bill we want to mention?
Oh, no, I
Due
think
date.
that's, yes.
Due date.
Due dates, please. Yes, it's very important that you see your due date. You know, sometimes if you've changed a cycle, it can definitely change. But we have set due dates every month. We have the 2nd, the 9th, 16th, and 25th. And just it's really important to make sure and pay your bills on time to keep your account.
I like that there's options. And if
there are
one's not working, how can someone change their
Right.
billing cycle so they have a different due date?
Yes, if you're like on a fixed income or, you know, with your job, you only get paid on the 1st of the month or something, you can definitely switch around your bill cycle. Just let us know. You can go online and look at the different options there, or you can call in and we can look and see which date suits you better.
Those late fees can add up, right?
They really can. It's 10%. And then, of course, if there's a disconnect, you know, there's a disconnect fee as well. So
Yeah. Due date is very important. Good catch.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else on the electric bill? There's a lot of information on the back.
Oh, yes.
It's
On the
printed
back, if you want to go there, it talks about different ways to make a payment, 24-hour ways to make a payment all day long, pay site kiosks, pay in the office. You can pay by lockbox, you know, all different ways. You pay on our website. It also goes through each of those charges that we talked about in more description on the back as well.
So now moving over to the fiber bill,
The fun
which
one.
looks very different from the electric bill. Explain why it's split up into different sections like it is.
Yes, we wanted to make sure that we kept it simple. So if you have internet, phone, TV, one, the other, you can very well see what your internet charge is, what your phone is, so it's not all grouped together. So we try to keep it as simple as possible.
So why are taxes different on each service that's included?
Yes. So we are regulated federally and state, city, and county. All of them each have taxes. So our internet, we don't charge a tax on the service. You'll only get charged taxes on your internet if you have additional set-top boxes. So additional equipment, you may see a tax on that. And the tax that goes for that is just going to be state, county, or city, depending where you live. And then phone has so many regulations. Federally, again, there's FCC, there's the Federal Universal Service Fund, 911 fee. Unfortunately, we can't change any of that. It's going to be regulated what we have to provide and put on a bill for phone. And then our TV is kind of the same as internet. We do not tax your service. We only tax if you have a set-top box or additional equipment.
So if someone is tax exempt, can they call in? So unlike the electric bill where no one is really exempt from a gross receipts tax,
Right.
can they be exempt from these taxes?
Yes, so the state, county, and city can be exempt. So if you have any kind of exemption, definitely call in. Our member service will enter that in. We'll take those off. You will still see the federal charges on there, the 911 fee. We cannot take those off for even if you are tax exempt.
Okay, good to know. Is there a gross receipts tax
No,
on fiber bills?
no, we don't have any gross receipts on there.
There is a due date. On
There
these
is
as
a
well.
due date as well, and it
There's a due
does
date.
fall with the same different options that you have with electric. So if you have electric and fiber, you can separate them, put them together, whichever is going to be best for you.
Yeah, sadly, mine are like a week apart. I don't know why. It kind of annoys me. I've just never called in. Maybe I need to do that. Get
That
it swapped
helps
for
some
the same
people to
day.
keep them separate. Some people like it together. Bank draft is always an option. So we have that with electric and fiber.
Look at me failing at my own thing here. I've often been like, man, I just need to call in and get that switched over to a different cycle. Just haven't done it. So you can do that. Makes it convenient for you, whatever works, you know.
Absolutely.
What else for the fiber bill do you want subscribers, potential subscribers to know?
It should always run the same. If you have phone and TV and you have different tax, it may be a few dollars difference. But if it's ever larger than that, definitely take a look. See if you see anything abnormal, give us a call. We do bill ahead for fiber. So if you look at the dates on there, it'll say the monthly charge and it'll have the dates you're covered for. So if you connected, you may have proration on there. If you are disconnecting, you may even get proration back and have a credit. So definitely take a look at the dates.
I do love that about the bills. My bill's $85. You know, it doesn't sway. It's the same. I love it.
Very nice and consistent.
It's even.
That's one of the main differences. The electric is billed behind. Like you've already used that service and then you get a bill. Well, fiber, you're billed ahead. So you're prorated on fiber.
Well, at least with electric, if you don't want to mess with a bill at all, there is a prepaid option.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So the concept does exist on the electric side too.
Yes. Prepaid is a very good option too.
It is. It is. We've got a lot of members on it.
About 7,000 or 8,000 last time. Wow.
I think the last thing to mention with fiber is if you do have more than one service, it is one account number. So you cannot pay just your phone and think that only your internet will go off or the vice versa. It's all one account number. So if you don't pay the full bill, you are still behind on that account.
Okay.
That is an often misconstrued thing.
Good to know.
That's actually, that's kind of helpful.
Anything else you can think of while we have them here?
I think so. If you have questions about billing, you can call in our member service. They are very skilled in what they can help you with. And if not, they can hand it to one of our pros over here.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
If you need help with your bill, there are different agencies that do pay, give assistance pledges and things like that. You might check into that locally to see what you might qualify for. They do send those to us also.
There's a number. Is it 211?
I believe so. I haven't looked in a while, but yes.
I used to work in member services and would refer people to this when they needed assistance.
I think it is
Yes.
211 actually.
I think so.
I think so. And they
Google
do
it
have
first.
a list of agencies because some new agencies do let us know they want to help as well. So we do have a list of that with our member service as well.
Great. Yeah, we have a great team all the way around.
Yes, we
from behind the scenes, making sure everything is correct and running smoothly, to those who have to answer the phones and answer the questions, the hard questions. So yeah, we appreciate you all.
Oh, thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So before we take off, we like to end by sharing a couple of things.
Today I want to mention Call Okie. So it's the springtime, right? Everybody's thinking about getting outside, maybe starting a garden project, or maybe you need to put a fence in, or maybe you have some projects you've put off far too long. I don't know. I'm not calling myself out here, but when we think about doing yard projects, I want you to just realize that you need to call in and locate, right? So we have buried lines, gas is all buried, water's buried. There's things that underneath the terrain that you can't see. So you call Okie, it's a free service, 811. They're going to send people out to locate all those lines around your house so you can know where it's safe to dig. Our line, for instance, our primary voltage is 14,400 volts, and it's about a 1/4 inch from a grounded conductor around it. So one hard push with a shovel and you could literally, hit that electric line. So definitely want you to call in. Before you dig, you need to make sure there are flags and paint on the ground to see what's there.
Yep, very important. And also, we like to highlight a community event that we are supporting. And we always support organizations, events all across our 7-county service area. And this week is Oklahoma Youth Expo. It's happening now and finishing up this weekend. And we have supported a lot of exhibitors, a lot of our local groups there. So best of luck in your competitions and in your showing of your livestock. And we are always happy to support you.
Well, thank you all for joining us today on our episode. Catch us back on April 7th, where we're going to take a behind-the-scenes look at restoring internet service and how it might not be as easy as you think. So we'll see you then.